There comes a moment in every person's life when they look in the mirror and see the truth. Not the version they show to the world, not the smile they wear to survive the day, but the truth, raw, unfiltered, undeniable. And in that moment, one question echoes through the silence of their soul. Is this who I was meant to be? That question is the spark, the ignition point, the crossroads between a life lived by default and a life lived by design. And make no mistake, the instant you decide, truly decide, that you will no longer accept anything less than your potential, you become unstoppable. Because decision is not a thought. Decision is not a wish. Decision is a command spoken by the mind, obeyed by the soul. Napoleon Hill once wrote that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. But most people drift. They wander from one idea to another, one goal to another, waiting for certainty, waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time. But the truth is this: certainty is not given, it's created. Motivation is not found, it's built. And time will never feel right until you make it right. Every man and woman who ever achieved greatness understood this secret. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times, but each failure was not a reason to stop, it was a reason to continue. Henry Ford was told that his ideas were foolish, that common men could not afford an automobile, but he saw the invisible before others could see the inevitable. And Andrew Carnegie, a man born into poverty, decided that wealth would not be the privilege of the few, but the destiny of the determined. The difference between those who rise and those who remain is this: those who rise decide. They don't wait for a perfect path, they create one. They don't ask if it's possible, they ask how it will be done. The truth is, most people never make a real decision. They say they want success, but they don't cut off the path of retreat. They say they want change, but they leave the door open to old habits. They say they want freedom, but they're chained to comfort, disguised as security. You become unstoppable when you decide that there is no going back. When the only direction is forward. When comfort becomes the enemy and growth becomes the only option. The world doesn't bend to those who wish, it bends to those who decide. Because decision is energy, decision is focus, decision is power compressed into a single act of will. And once you make it, truly make it, the entire universe begins to reorganize itself around your intent. Not immediately, not magically, but inevitably. You see, the moment you decide, your mind begins to align with your purpose. Your focus sharpens. Your energy intensifies. You start seeing opportunities where before you saw obstacles. You start finding strength where before you found excuses. And slowly, day by day, you transform from a dreamer into a creator, from someone hoping for change into someone becoming the change. It is not the external world that limits you. It is the internal conversation you refuse to challenge. The voice that says, you can't, the whisper that says, you're not ready, the fear that says, what if you fail? That voice is not truth, it is history. And history does not define destiny. Only decision does. Every great achievement began in the same invisible space, the mind of one individual who refused to quit. One person who said, I will. Not I'll try, not I hope, not maybe. But I will. That's the moment you separate from the crowd. That's the moment your story begins. Because success is not born from luck. It is born from a single, unwavering decision made in silence, forged in struggle, and proven through action. So understand this, you are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are the turning point. You are the decision the world has been waiting for. And when you choose, truly choose, to become the person capable of your dream, you ignite a force within you that cannot be stopped, cannot be silenced, and cannot be defeated.